then went out and made him proud with an offensive onslaught, plus some pretty nifty outfield defense. Tonight, the Northsiders look to keep those bats sizzling as Ryan Dempster goes for his 5th straight win. It's the Buccos and Cubs next. The sounds and sights of Wrigley Field as we get you set for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. It is a sizzling night, and the bats matched the weather last night. The Cubs drubbed the Pirates 14-2 in the opener. It's game 2 of a 3-game series. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Let's see if the Cubs can keep this offensive mojo working. Starlin Castro with 3 hits last night is now on the board.
He's finally on the board. We've been waiting for him to get enough plate appearances to qualify for the National League batting leaders, and he has done that. And he's done it because he has approached his offense like a veteran player. He's made some great adjustments. He's driving the ball to the opposite field and has that youthful 20-year-old energy on a daily basis.
I don't even know if he knows that he now has qualified for a potential batting title, but we're not going to tell him just yet.
No, don't tell him. And for Marlon Byrd, he's been the most consistent Cubs hitter since day one. He knows no other way to go about his business.
Jeff Karstens will get the start for the Pirates. Ryan Dempster for the Cubs. In the case of Karstens, he's lost 8 consecutive decisions.
He's not won a ball game since the middle of June. Over his last 11 starts, he's lost 8 with 3 no decisions. It's been a real struggle for the right-hander.
And Ryan Dempster finishing up the month of August. It's been an excellent month for him.
It really has been. He's arguably thrown his best ball in the month of August, and it makes no difference who the opponent is.
So tonight, Ryan Dempster shoots for his 100th career win and number 13 here in 2010. The Cubs hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates next. Fans through the turnstiles receiving a Cubs home cap on this Tuesday night. You're watching the Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates here on Comcast Sportsnet, presented by Allstate. It's really hot here at the ballpark. The wind is blowing straight out. Ryan Dempster will try to have that sinker do its thing tonight as He faces this Pirates Southwest starting lineup. Andrew McCutchen starts it in center. Jose Taba's in left. Neil Walker's 7-game hitting streak. Switch hitting second baseman. Garrett Jones at first. Pedro Alvarez over at third. Ryan Doumit caught last night. He's in right tonight. The former Cub Ronnie Cedeno's at short. Chris Snyder, former Diamondback, catching now for the Pirates, and Jeff Karstens will hit ninth.
And let's take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Soriano in left, Bird in center, Colvin over in right field, Ramirez and Castro once again on the left side of the infield. It'll be Blake DeWitt and Xavier Nady on the right side. Coy Hill doing the catching while Giovanni Soto recovers from that knee tweak. And he'll be catching pitches from right-hander Ryan Dempster. As Len said in the open of the show, Dempster has been really good in the month of August. Not only eating up innings, but giving Lou Piniella before, and now Mike Quadick quality innings.
The crew chief, Gary Darling, in his 24th season, will call the balls and strikes. Dreckman, Emmel, and Hahn around the bases. The 33-year-old right-hander Ryan Dempster, 6'2", 215 pounds, shooting for career victory number 100. And away we go. Fastball missing, ball one. McCutchen 1 for 3, 2 walks, and a stolen base last night. As on one hop, he's going to be retired. Ramirez across the diamond to Nady.
Always good to get that lead man, especially Andrew McCutchen, a guy that can generate some offense with his legs. It was kind of surprising he reached base last night and did not move from first base in that first inning. 27 steals on the season. Good to keep him off the bags.
Jose Tabata had been hot. He at one time was 12 for 20, but has gone 0 for 11 since, including 5 hitless at bats last night. Two and 0 on the rookie Tabata. Just missed 3 and 0. Neil Walker on deck. And there's ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Tabata. Great to see Freddie Ljungberg from the Chicago Fire throw out the ceremonial first pitch tonight.
That at bat by Tabata, any indication it's going to be an extremely tight strike zone for Gary Darling tonight. At least a couple of those pitches by Dempster appeared to be on that outside corner, but did not get the call.
Right down the middle on a heater. Neil Walker scored both of the Pirates' runs last night. Tabata might run 14 stolen bases, 21 tries this season. Not going that time, swing and a miss. 0-2. I don't know if these guys know it, Bob, but Xavier Nady and Jose Tabata standing right next to one another. They were once traded for each other. You need Jeff Karstens, Ross Ollendorf, Thomas O'Marte, Xavier Nady deal. Yankees and the Pirates 2 years ago. Tabata fake towards second, and Walker takes the pitch inside.
I'll bet they know about it. They probably don't talk about it. But yeah, especially if you're a younger player like Tabata and get involved in a trade, you always want to know who the trade was for. kind of establishes your place in the pecking order.
Long pause by Dempster. Here's a pitch. Fouled away off to the left. 88 degrees as we got started tonight.
That all?
That's it.
Whew. Feels every bit of that and more.
Wind is out of the southwest, meaning it's blowing straight out to center. Currently at 6 miles an hour.
I was going to mention watching Ryan Dempster go down the left field line to warm up before today's ball game. Maybe it was just my imagination, but it seemed like he didn't throw nearly as long as he normally does. Maybe trying to save some bullets for deeper in the ball game.
A chopper that's going to get past DeWitt and into right, and it'll send Tabata all the way to third. So the Pirates threatening here in the first inning.
From our Coors Light RoboCam, one of the few bright spots for the Pirates this year, homegrown Neil Walker. Having himself a fine season, approaching a .300 batting average. He's been a very consistent player both offensively and defensively.
And when you say homegrown, you really mean homegrown. Not only was he drafted by the Pirates, but he's from Pittsburgh. Garrett Jones, 2 hits last night. Swing and a miss on a sinking fastball. Talked about Andrew McCutchen and Garrett Jones. Combined, they have hit .434 here at Wrigley Field in 54 at-bats this season. Broken bat bouncer back to Dempster. He drops the ball, and that'll cost him a run. Looked like a tailor-made double play, but Ryan lost the grip on the ball. And it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Jones will get an RBI on the ground out.
Looked like Ryan just got a little bit ahead of himself. May have been distracted by that bat twirling past him. That's one of those plays, Len. Pitchers are taught once you bobble that ball on the mound, get the out at first. Don't try to force the issue at second base. But on that particular play, Ryan may have had a play at the plate. But once again, when you go over those drills in spring training, a situation similar to that, pitchers are taught to get the out at first.
Walker now in scoring position as Pedro Alvarez skies it foul. Even with the Cubs winning last night, they've still dropped 9 of the first 13 games in this season series. It has been a complete disaster on the road for the Pirates this season. They're in the midst of a 14-game losing streak. Bob, they had another road losing streak earlier this season that was 17 games. Over the last 3 months, they've won 4 games on the road. Hit pretty well to left center, and Soriano's going to have to play that one off the wall as Walker scores, and it's 2-0. Well, the Pirates are making it hurt. Cubs could not get that double play. Now the Pirates putting up a crooked number. We saw the Cubs do that on a few occasions last night. Ryan Doumit playing right, with Chris Snyder catching.
Hopefully the Cubs will come out in the bottom half of the inning and swing the bats the way they did last night.
14 runs on 18 hits. Cubs smacked 9 doubles. It was the 6th time since 1920 and the first time since 2003 the Cubs had 9 doubles in one game. And it just caught a piece of Doman. So Doman nicked by that pitch. Here comes Ronnie Cedeno. 2 on with 2 down.
I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen, Len. It looked to me like Dempster was going to be extremely careful with Ryan Doman with a base open at first and 2 outs in the inning, and former Cub Ronnie Cedeno, the next scheduled hitter. You'd much prefer to take your chances with Cedeno than an RBI bat like Doman.
That one drilled out into right center. Alvarez is in. Doman's going to score, and it's 4-0. So the Pirates have found both gaps here with 2 outs. Alvarez with an RBI double. 2 batters later, Ronnie Cedeno knocking in 2.
Well, you can see the location of that pitch. A slider that was supposed to be down low and away stayed right over the middle of the plate, middle of the thighs, and Ronnie Cedeno showing some opposite field pop, splitting the gap out there in right center. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we won't know until we talk to Ryan Dempster tomorrow about whether he was actually trying to pitch around Doman to get to Cedeno. But if indeed that was his plan, I'm sure he wanted to execute a better pitch than that to start the sequence to Cedeno, a notorious free swinger.
I think the other thing Ryan will say after the game is got to turn that double play.
Yep.
Could have gotten him out of the inning with no damage. As it is, they get 4 runs and are still batting. Chris Snyder takes a strike. Trade deadline deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Included in that deal going the other way, Bobby Crosby, Ryan Church, DJ Carrasco. Also middle infielder Pedro Siriaco coming with Snyder from Arizona. Snyder has homered in each of his last 2 games, and then he bounces a foul.
Diamondbacks having a rough season, obviously, going into play tonight. 26 games under 500. You get word that you've been traded, you think to yourself, all right, get a chance to go somewhere and play some ball, and find out it's Pittsburgh, who's 45 under going into play tonight.
You don't see deals on July 31st between those types of teams. You're right. Usually 1 team in it, 1 team out of it. Swing and a miss. Dempster finally gets out of the inning. But the Pirates do a lot of damage. They get 4. The Cubs are coming up against Jeff Karstens. perfect in his career against tonight's Pirates starter. Starlin Castro again is on the leaderboard in the NL. So is Marlon Byrd. Ramirez, a big night last night. Xavier Nady at first. Soriano, Colvin, Hill again in for Soto. And Ryan Dempster does the pitching.
Pirates defensively will feature Tabata in left, McCutchen in center, Ryan Doman, who caught last night, out in right field tonight. Alvarez at third, Cedeno at short, Neil Walker at second base, Garrett Jones over at first, Chris Snyder doing the catching for right-hander Jeff Karsten. We talked in the open about his struggles this year. His last victory came on June 19th against the Cleveland Indians, and he didn't even pitch well in that ball game. 5 1/3, gave up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. Came away a 6-4 winner.
Blake DeWitt is 6 for 6 in his career against Jeff Karstens. Make it 6 for 7.
Hit it hard. Unfortunately, right at Ronnie Cedeno.
Xavier Nady, he bats 3 for 3 with a home run. Alfonso Soriano 6 for 11 with 2 home runs. So a lot of individual success against Jeff Karstens. Not only is Starlin on the batting average leaderboard, but he also ranks 4th in home batting average at .349. 8th in the league in night batting average, .311. So he bumped a few guys off that top 10. Out doing some defensive drills with Alan Trammell and some of his teammates. Ivan DeJesus out here early today in the heat. McCutchen coming in. He didn't get it. That's a base hit for Castro. So a bloop single, his 4th hit of the series.
Stay hot.
Well, I just thought that ball with the wind was going to carry out to McCutchen, and it didn't.
Cue shot right off the end of the bat for Starlin Castro. Big swing. Maybe that fooled McCutchen just a little bit. Got a late break and couldn't make up the ground. Well, that wind is whipping straight out to center field. This figures to be a hitter's night, but it hasn't always come true this season.
Marlon Byrd, the batter, runner on. The Cubs trail 4-0 here in the first. That's a strike.
And last night we talked about Ryan Doman behind the plate and his issues throwing out opposing base stealers. It caught only 7% on the season. Chris Snyder behind the plate tonight, only 1 out of 10 as a member of the Pirates.
And it all works together, as you talk about all the time. And if you combine all those numbers, it would generally tell you that the pitching staff probably hasn't helped the catchers that much.
And in the case of the Cubs, we know at times this year there have been issues with the middle infielders taking the throws at second base. It really is a collaborative effort. Everybody has to do their part in order to cut down especially the premier base stealers in the league.
Cubs are 5-2 under Mike Quade since he took over for Lou Piniella, who stepped down at the end of the last homestand. Little tapper Karstens had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, so he'll only get the lead man Castro. It would have been a tough double play anyway. 2 outs.
Slowly hit chopper. Karstens double clutches, and you've got Marlon Byrd running down the first baseline. Very little chance that Cedeno was going to be able to turn 2, but Starlin Castro made sure of that with a good aggressive slide at second base.
Bob, because it's happened now to both pitchers here in the first inning with the heat and humidity tonight, the ball might be a little slippery at times. Pitch to Ramirez. Chop to third. Nice play on the short hop by Alvarez. And Karstens did what he needed to do after his team gave him 4 runs in support. A 10 pitch scoreless first. Have been tied atop the East over in the AL for 8 consecutive days. Not a lot of people noticed, apparently, in the Tampa Bay area. Hiroki Kuroda, no into the 8th, ended up being a one-hitter. And the Padres have lost 5 in a row, although they were helped last night by the Rockies, who scored 2 in the 9th to beat the second-place San Francisco Giants. So the Padres still lead the West by 5. That'll go 3-1 to get the pitcher Karstens. I think one of the big stories right now, Bob, is that the St. Louis Cardinals are fading fast. 2-6 on their 10-game road trip. They got shut out in Houston last night. The players shaved their heads to try to change up their luck. Didn't work.
Tony La Russa told the players if they get a 5-game lead in the division, he'll shave his head. Right now, the way they're playing and the way the Reds are playing, that's a pretty safe bet. Tony's not going to have to get a haircut.
Cincinnati leading again tonight in the 4th, 2-1 over Milwaukee. The Reds with a 6-game lead. And they have left-hander Aroldis Chapman in their bullpen tonight. Boy, you get McCutchen to lead off the game, to ground out. You feel pretty good about your chances to get out of the first inning with no damage, but the Pirates would go on and score 4 times. One-two on the way, inside, almost hit him.
You think back to that first inning as well, Len. Not only did he retire McCutchen to start the inning, but to Tabata, he threw at least 2 pitches in that sequence that appeared to be in the strike zone on the outside corner. Did not get the calls. Tabata ended up walking. May have changed Ryan Dempster's approach a little bit. He started biting off too much of the plate, too much of the strike zone, and the Pirates started banging him around.
One other note about the Reds, Aaron Harang off the DL. He had lower lumbar spasms. That's why he was on the shelf. He's starting tonight. Edinson Volquez sent to the minor leagues. Remember, he had been demoted to the bullpen. Lance Nix put on the DL. Ball 4, McCutchen is aboard.
On Friday, the Cubs host the Mets right here at Wrigley Field. Game time is 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Carlos Zambrano bobblehead doll, compliments of Fannie Mae.
2 walks tonight for Dempster. give him 71 on the season. Only 4 other pitchers in the league have walked more. And there goes McCutchen. Here's a throw by Coy Hill. Save. Close at second. No argument from Blake DeWitt.
Pretty good pitch to handle for Coy Hill. A little bit up, a little bit away from the right-handed hitter, but McCutchen able to get in underneath the tag. The throw just a little bit high, but McCutchen with a great jump and tremendous speed.
Going into tonight, Ryan Dempster with 5 previous starts here in the month of August. 4 wins, no losses, and a 1.31 ERA. Fans still filing in. Count holding at 1-2.
Reaction there from Tabata. Zinger in the left hand, left elbow maybe. Look like he's real anxious to get back in that box. He continues to have some problems with that left hand. That time the left hand came off the bat immediately after contact on the foul ball down the right field line. You know, I'm not a doctor, man, but
could have fooled me.
Yeah, occasionally on those swings, everything doesn't line up and roll over exactly the way it's supposed to. And sometimes you get a little zinger. They call them in football. It's almost like hitting your crazy bone. That nerve fires and you lose feeling in your hand and your lower arm for a few minutes. I'm not sure if that's what's ailing Tabata right now, but obviously something is.
You can play this game for 25 years and you don't learn how to avoid it. It just happens.
Yep.
And it always hurts. Everybody's going to hit the ball on the wrong part of the bat on occasion. That's what pitchers are trying to do. Talk about a well-struck home run. Batter can't even feel it.
No vibration at all in your hands or arms when you make contact on the sweet spot of the bat.
It's subtle, but as you watch the games from home, you can hear the different sounds off the bat. And when you see a ball go 460 feet, it sounds different than a foul ball off the end of the bat.
You hear scouts talk about it all the time. They come out early to the ballpark to watch batting practice, and on their report, a lot of times you'll read the ball sounds different coming off of his bat.
Deep right center, Marlon Byrd tracking, and he can't get it. It one hops the wall. McCutchen's in, and all the way to third is Tabata with his second career triple, and it's 5-0. Well, that ball was smoked. That was a painful at bat for Tabata, but in the end, he, as we talked about, hit one on the sweet spot. Actually in just a little bit.
Doesn't hurt nearly as bad right now, though. Marlon Byrd with a long run to that gap in right center field. Just missed it with that outstretched glove. Ball takes a hop up off the bottom of the basket, drops right down for Marlon. Unfortunately, he overthrew Blake DeWitt. I don't believe they would have had a play on top of that third base anyway.
It's really the first time Mike Quaddy's been faced with this scenario as Neil Walker digs in. The infield is in. But that is one of your top starting pitchers early on, struggling, and the question is it going to continue to be this way for Ryan Dempster tonight? And should Mike Quaddy think about getting him out? Or can Ryan get it together and settle down and at least give the Cubs some quantity and give this team a chance to get back in it? We're only in the second inning, but that's a quandary no manager likes to face, but we see it several times each year.
Yeah, and you saw a shot of Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach there on the bench. This is where your pitching coach is really of great assistance to a manager.
Walker went around.
I mean, the pitching coach can tell the manager if he thinks that Ryan Dempster will be able to snap out of it. He's got a few mechanical issues, or there was just an at bat or two here where he missed his spot. His stuff looks good, or Skip, I think you need to get him out of there quick. He doesn't look like he has it tonight. That's where your pitching coach has an intimate knowledge of each guy on his staff and can better determine if he's going to be able to right the ship or not.
My guess as to the answer, good block by Coy Hill, is that they're going to give Ryan the benefit of the doubt and give him maybe an extra batter or two than normal for this reason. Remember last Wednesday, Ryan didn't even throw 80 pitches. He was fantastic. Could have gone one, maybe two more innings. But the Cubs needed to get a run to win that game. So Mike Quaddy took him out. And the Cubs did win that game 4-0. And I think Ryan's also earned that opportunity. And those things aren't the main reasons why you let him do it, but they factor into that decision.
A lot of factors enter into it, you know, career history against the team he's facing, each guy individually, the condition of your bullpen. Can you afford to take a starter out this early in the ballgame? Do you have enough arms in that bullpen to cover the rest of the game? Never an easy decision, especially with a veteran pitcher that has shown the ability of turning things around and finding the strike zone with good stuff.
3-0 on Jones. Alvarez on deck. Just to give you an idea of how good Ryan was his last time and how much he struggled here tonight. 17 balls already in 7 innings at Washington. 22 balls. So he's almost reached that total here tonight, and we're only in the second. And one other factor we haven't even mentioned, the overriding thing also can be you don't want a guy to get embarrassed. You don't want him to give up 10 or 11 runs.
Another factor is the confidence in your own offense to come back and score runs against the other team's pitcher in a game. Parsons has had a rough go, as we've mentioned, in the second half of the season. Maybe you feel like your offense can bounce back and score 5 or 6 runs in this game, put Ryan Dempster right back in it.
The kick, the 0-1 pitch. Swing by Alvarez, fouled it straight back. Ryan's career record, interesting, 99 wins, 98 losses. A chance to get his 100th tonight. although trailing big early. Also 49 wins as a member of the Cubs. So with his next win, he'll have half of his career wins as a Cub and 100 total. Two and two. Swing and a miss to end the inning, but the Pirates add a run and now lead 5-0 after an inning and a half. Catch all the post-game remarks after every game and get behind-the-scenes access and in-depth analysis from CSN Cubs insider Patrick Mooney. Visit csnchicago.com, your internet home for everything Cubs. Xavier Nady against Jeff Karstens. Again, they were involved in the same deal. Karstens from the Yankees to the Pirates, and Nady the other way back in 2008. That's a strike. Mentioned Karstens has lost 8 consecutive decisions. His last start was skipped because of arm fatigue. This is his first outing in 11 days. And his last one did not go well. It's the Mets, 3 1/3, 11 hits, 7 runs.
Karstens will feature your basic 4-pitch mix, a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. All in the average range. You see his numbers against the Mets on that August 20th start. He pitches very upright. Doesn't use a lot of his lower body.
Cedeno throws out Nady.
Saturday is Kimberly Clark Day at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Mets at 12:05. Lucky seat winners will be awarded great prizes throughout the game. There's no purchase necessary. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
right about Jeff Karstens. He stands tall on that mound, 6'3", 185. He has good posture. The 2-1 on the way, swing and a miss. 2-2. Career homers for Soriano against the Pirates as he hits it high in the air to left. Tabata underneath. Brings up Tyler Colvin. He's playing right. Comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. The first base experiment hasn't happened yet. They are working with Tyler before games, but Mike Quade, the general tone that I get from Mike Quade is that they're only going to do it if Tyler Colvin feels relaxed about it and is not going to basically get obsessed over it. The idea is, you know, if he struggles, he just doesn't want him to lose confidence and make a big deal out of it when it's just something that'll add to his versatility. We've seen Bob. He's a pretty versatile guy in the outfield. Good speed. We saw a very accurate, strong throw last night to nail Garrett Jones at second base. But it is something the Cubs would like to look at for future reference. Tyler Colvin at first base for, you know, at least a fill-in at times.
You know, and that's one of those things, Lynn, that rarely is it done during the season. That's something that you approach after the season's over. You say, listen, when you go home this winter, maybe start taking some ground balls at first. You work on it in spring training, and then maybe you ease him into some games early in the season next year.
Now, that could also happen as well. First strikeout for Karstens, 5-0 Pirates after 2. Tickets are available now for Cubs games in September, in particular the upcoming series against the Houston Astros, September 6th, 7th, and 8th. Bleacher seats are still available as well. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Ryan Doman, who got hit by a pitch in the first inning, will lead off the third. Ryan Dempster now making just his 15th pitch from the windup. He's made 37 from the stretch. Two and 0. Missed again. Right down the middle, 3-1. Ryan has made 2 starts against the Pirates. This is his 3rd this season. 2 previous outings resulted in losses, even though they were quality starts. A roller into right.
I think we may have to see some activity in that bullpen. All the excuses that we gave in that last half inning, you'd like to see Ryan go out there and get the first out of the inning quickly, but he fell behind Doman, had to come in with a 3-1 fastball and hard grounder through the right side for a base hit. I guess my point is, if you're watching closely, you're looking for some signs that Ryan Dempster is starting to turn the corner. His command's getting a little better. He's making a lot of mistakes out of the strike zone where the Pirate hitters aren't offering, and then making mistakes in the middle of the zone when he does have to throw a strike.
Cedeno with a 2-run double. Make it 4-0 in the first. Sprayed foul, 0-2. That one way up, 1-2. Day game tomorrow. Cubs will be off on Thursday before the Mets come in for the holiday weekend. Right-hander James McDonald, recently acquired from the Dodgers. He'll face Tom Gorzolani. And Cedeno went around. That's strike 3.
Cedeno doing Dempster a big favor there, chasing a pitch that was way out of the strike zone. He thought he was able to check. First base umpire Bruce Dreckman said, not this time.
Slider missed low and outside to Chris Snyder. Only 3 catchers in the National League have hit more home runs than Snyder. Brian McCann, Giovanni Soto, and Rod Barajas. Earlier this year with Arizona, quick snap throw to first. Doman back in time. When the Diamondbacks were here, Snyder hit 2 homers in 3 games. Not call Chris Snyder diminutive. 6'4", 245.
With the Diamondbacks, he was a minor leaguer over there. He used to come up for Major League Camp to help catch some pitchers and sneak him into a game once in a while. We used to call him the Mountain Man.
Yeah, you can't really sneak him into anything.
No. Kind of guy that would wrestle a grizzly bear and win.
3-1. The pitcher Karstens is on deck. A couple of long losing streaks on the line for the Pirates. Jeff Karsten's 8 in a row and his team's 14 in a row on the road. Base hit center field. It's safe to say there's not a ton of speed on the bases considering there are 2 catchers running, and you have the pitcher at the plate in Karsten. So if he's going to lay down a bunt, it better be a good one.
We know the Cubs aren't real adventurous with their bunt defenses in situations like this, but this would conceivably be one of those situations where you would use one of your trick plays. Charge both corner infielders hard, have the pitcher charge straight in from the mound, try to go to second base and make a double play. Yeah, as you said, slow runners at both bases. Pitcher at the plate doesn't figure to get out of that box quickly. If he does put down a sacrifice bunt, this is one where maybe you go after 2.
The throw is going to go to first. It'll go 1-4. Karsten's with his 4th sacrifice of the season. Never quite know when the pivotal at bat in a game is going to happen. Many times we don't know till the game ends. But for Ryan Dempster tonight, I think this is the one. If he doesn't get McCutchen, he's probably done for the night. With Marcos Mateo getting ready in the bullpen, if he can get McCutchen, get out of the inning, he still has time. And his team has time to get back into this game. Called strike. Center field base hit. One is in. They're going to try to get another. Snyder on his way, and he is safe. He somehow got his hand maybe over the glove of Coy Hill and on the dish to make it 7-0.
Another middle of the plate fastball. McCutchen lines it into center field. Marlon Byrd with a hard charge and a quick release of that throw to the plate. Looked like the ball beat Snyder. It was a little bit up the first base line. That's just a real good slide by Chris Snyder. Keeps his arm up and over the glove of Coy Hill and then gets his hand on home plate. That is a really nice slide.
And great camera work to get that nice look at the Snyder slide. That'll be a single, 2 RBIs for McCutchen, who moved up into scoring position on the throw.
Just a little bit of tail on that throw, and it would have put Coy Hill right on top of the plate. But as it is, he had to reach a little bit up that first base side.
That kicks off Dempster, but right to the shortstop, Castro. Boy, they barely got Tabata at first base. The inning is over. Ryan Dempster visibly frustrated. As they get 2 more, it's 7-0. The 2010 Stanley Cup champions are looking forward to the 2010-2011 season, and we'll be giving away pocket schedules and training camp festival brochures before the game, as well as autographed items between innings. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host the Mets at 1:20. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Looks like the night is over for Ryan Dempster as Carlos Zambrano has just gone up the steps and into the on-deck circle, and Marcos Mateo going over the scouting report in the bullpen. Shortest outing of the year for Dempster, and he allowed the most earned runs, 7. 2 strikes on Coy Hill. The end of the top of this inning, Bob, that was as frustrated as I think we've seen Ryan visibly all year long. He was pretty upset. And a base hit for Coy Hill on a 1-2 pitch. Well, here comes Carlos Zambrano, leads us into our AT&T trivia question. You know, he hit a home run last night. Cubs had a couple more shots at other pitchers hitting home runs. They didn't do it, but when was the last time 2 Cub pitchers homered in the same game? Was it in the 30s, the 60s, or never? Answer coming up. Our guess was never.
And if you know my track record on the trivia answers, you know that never is wrong. So you got a 50-50 chance.
Well, we use this generic line. He just didn't have it tonight. But what was it that Ryan didn't have? You put your finger on anything? Just strike zone command?
Strike zone command. There really wasn't one pitch that he could consistently throw in the strike zone. And, you know, falling behind in the counts. I don't care who you're facing and how feeble their offense has been all season. When you consistently put them in 2-0 and 3-1 counts, they're going to take much more aggressive swings. And tonight, some of those swings resulted in hard hit balls.
Toronto late on that swing and hit it foul wide of third. Talking to Z today before BP, said he's getting a little too pull happy. Now, I don't know if that means more so than he had been earlier in his career. But the ball he pulled last night into the bleachers, he walloped. 2-2 pitch.
It was a screaming line drive last night from the right side of the plate.
7th career homer, right-handed, 21 overall. Pulled out the fungo bat, started hitting fly balls. And his manager said, Z, just be careful. He's hustling down the line, and he's going to be thrown out by Alvarez. And a nice defensive play. Once Z gets that big frame moving, he runs very well. To answer the AT&T trivia question, the last time 2 different Cubs pitchers homered in the same game, it actually did happen back in the 1930s, 1937. In Boston against the Bees. Charlie Root. Clay Bryant. who got the win and hit a grand slam. That was in the 10th inning. A game winner. 10-7. The Cubs beat the Bees.
Carson is dipping a little deeper into his arsenal here in this inning. First couple of innings, he was basically fastball slider with a couple of straight changeups mixed in, but we're seeing more of that over-the-top curveball here in this inning. That time DeWitt pulled it foul down the first base line.
Oh, 2 on the leadoff man, Blake DeWitt. The pitch. He went. That's a strikeout. Bill Hahn made the call from third. So the leadoff man tonight 0 for 2. But going into tonight, I thought we'd look back the first 7 games under Mike Quade. Blake DeWitt, Kosuke Fukudome, Jeff Baker have all hit in the leadoff spot. And they've done a nice job as Q is kind of mixing and matching.
Hit the ball well. They've drawn their share of walks. Some really good deep at bats. Seen a lot of pitches, which always helps the rest of the lineup when that leadoff man can go up there the first at bat of the game and see everything the opposing pitcher has to offer.
One thing Mike did not do is mess with Starlin Castro's spot in the order. He's hit .332 from that number 2 spot. It seems to be a very good place for the 20-year-old. Austin's feathers a curve in at 68 miles an hour. 1-1.
Change in arm angle that time from Carson's. Dropped down a little bit. Tried to get a little more sink on that fastball.
Bouncer up the middle. Cedeno ranging behind second to spin the throw and the out. Jones stretched to get it. Cedeno ended up in shallow right center after making that play. So Cedeno keeps the Cubs off the board. It's still 7-0 Pirates.
This fourth inning is brought to you by Fourth Meal from Taco Bell, open 1 a.m. or later.
Great work by the Menards grounds crew as always. Getting the infield ready for the fourth. As rookie right-hander Marcos Mateo will take over. Again, a very rough night for the starter Ryan Dempster. 3 innings, 7 runs. Tenth appearance for Mateo. And DeWitt can't get that hard liner by Neil Walker. His second hit of the game. Big swing by Garrett Jones. Just got a piece of the ball. Manny is in uniform for the White Sox, but not in the lineup tonight. They have travel. He's again going to wait till tomorrow. They're tied with Cleveland 1-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Two and one on Jones. Cardinals trailing again 3-0 after 4 in Houston. Low and inside, 3-1. Chris Carpenter pitching for the Cardinals tonight. Wandy Rodriguez for the Astros.
Dangerous pitch right here. Garrett Jones, a obvious power source in the middle of this Pirates lineup. Second at bat in a row. He's had a 3-1 count. Home run swing, but fouls it back.
Walker takes off. The 3-2 hit high and deep. Bird is back on the warning track, and this ball is gone. A 2-run homer for Garrett Jones. 9-0. They've scored in every inning.
th homer of the year for Garrett Jones. 2 RBI on the home run, give him 74 on the season. Got it high in the air. That wind still whistling out to straightaway center field. Marlon Byrd could only give it a look as that ball sails about 5 or 6 rows up into the bleachers in center.
Jones came in hitting 144 over his last 30 games, but there's something about the Cubs in this place that brings out the best. And Illinois native Garrett Jones, 4 of his 20 homers this year against the Cubs. 3 RBIs tonight. Give him 18 in his career against the Cubs and under 100 at bats.
And we were commenting before the ball game, Len. Garrett Jones, obviously the Pirates are having a miserable season, but for a guy that spent parts of 11 seasons in the minor leagues, he's getting after it. I mean, he was chasing foul balls over near the tarp last night, diving all over the place at first base, trying to make defensive plays. Tonight, putting together a couple of real good at-bats. Drew a walk back in the second inning. Drove in a run with a ground out in the first, and then a 2-run homer. Guys that spend that long in the minor leagues take absolutely nothing for granted, regardless of where their team is in the standings.
3-2 on Alvarez. This has been a trend for young Marcus Mateo. A lot of 3-2 counts. First 9 outings, averaging almost 21 pitches per inning. That's a lot. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out.
Good hard slider down and in under the hands of Alvarez. We talked about him in the ball game last night. Seems at this stage of his career to be a slider speed bat guy. By that I mean he'll hit the fastball in the high 80s, maybe approaching 90 miles an hour, but he's going to do most of his damage on off-speed pitches, breaking pitches, or guys that throw mediocre fastballs.
Soriano backpedaling just onto the track, still going back as he makes the catch right up against the vines. Wind pushing that ball all the way out to the wall. Cubs won 14-2 last night and trailed 9-0 tonight.
Yeah, Soriano was camped under that ball about 15 feet away from where he ended up catching it, right in front of the vines.
Atlanta beating up on the Mets 8-2 as they go into the 7th in Atlanta. We'll see the Mets on Friday. They're in the 8th inning in Florida. The Marlins with just 1 hit tonight, but they're tied scoreless 0-0 with the Nationals. We had a long rain delay last night of almost 3 hours before they got started. Ronnie Cedeno pulls one deep to left, but it's going to be foul. Jason Marquis got his first win of the year last night for the Nationals. Jordan Zimmerman with a good outing tonight. He's now out after 6. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Garrett Jones with a 2-run shot, and the Pirates now lead 9-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. and be entered to win a VIP Training Camp Festival experience on September 18th. That's camped at 242-957 for 2 free tickets, VIP seating during the Blackhawks scrimmages, and a player meet and greet. Bird, Ramirez, and Nady against Jeff Karstens, who hasn't won in a while, but he's leading 9-0. His last win came on June 19th against Cleveland. Over the 11-start winless streak, he had received 18 total runs in support. Well, tonight, in 4 innings, he's gotten 9. He has not won on the road this season. 0-7. His last road win came here on September 30th of last season. 2-2. Karstens, a San Diego, California native. And his 2-2 pitch hit on the ground. Alvarez with another fine defensive play. Karstens has gotten help from his defense too. Alvarez, couple of plays. Ronnie Cedeno with a gem in the last inning.
Good first step by Alvarez down there at third base, up on his toes as that ball was into the hitting area. Quickly moved to his left. And plenty of arm to throw across in time to get Marlon Byrd. I thought it would be a closer play than that, but Alvarez gets him easily.
Hit me over curve to Ramirez. I want to send out happy first birthday wishes to Lane Abbott from his older sister Bailey. Also Dave and Doug Senko celebrating a birthday here today. Coming out tomorrow, come on out early and join us behind the bleachers at the corner of Sheffield and Waveland for the Harry Carey statue rededication ceremony. That'll be at 12:15, about an hour before game time. Dutchie Carey, Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts will be on hand. And it will conclude with a toast in honor of Harry.
That's appropriate. Probably ought to begin with a toast. And then have one in the middle and then one at the end, too.
Another 2-2. Alvarez again keeping it in front of him and getting the out. That's a nice play by a third baseman. You talk about that particular play a lot. Just get in front of it.
Yeah, Ron Santo is the one that coined the phrase all a third baseman needs is a strong chest and a strong arm. And Alvarez gives a perfect example right here. Couldn't field it cleanly, but made sure he blocked the ball up against his chest. Fell right down in front, even had time to take a quick peek at the runner and then fire on with that strong arm for the out.
Usually your most athletic infielder is your shortstop. There are several reasons for that. You need a guy with great range, with a very strong arm. There's Ron Santo. Not looking so happy tonight. The Cubs trailing big. But the arm, the range, and also the hand-eye coordination. As a shortstop, you can't drop balls like that too often. You're not going to have time to throw out base runners. almost came back for Snyder, but landed about 2 rows back. In fact, Ronnie Cedeno, I just noticed, was telling Pedro Alvarez, and Ronnie's played here a lot, don't give up on anything tonight because the wind is going to push balls back toward the field of play. And he's absolutely right. Two and two.
We've seen many examples over the years here at Wrigley, depending on which direction the wind is blowing. Foul balls that appear to be way up in the third base side bleachers or the first base side bleachers, and the wind pushes them right back into play.
Got him on a breaking ball for strike 3. Karsten's cruising through 4 with a 9-zip lead.
Long to 53695. If you're the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway.
I go with the tuna on wheat.
I'm mixing it. I like the meatball. I like the tuna.
A little bit of a meatball. It works.
Yeah.
Chris Snyder takes a strike. Cue shot foul. Carlos Garcia, Pirates first base coach. Carlos Garcia had his first major league hit in his debut here at Wrigley Field as a Pirate almost 20 years ago. One and two. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Mateo. One away in the inning.
I'll tell you, Len, looking here in the Pirates media guide at the contract status of the players on their 40-man roster. When we talk about playing for next year's contract, there are only 2 players on their 40-man roster that are signed past this season. Ryan Doman has a contract for next year and then a club option for 2012 and 2013. And Paul Maholm, last night's starting pitcher, has a contract for next year with an option for 12. Everybody else is operating year to year.
And most of their players are under the club's control. And many not even to arbitration yet, which is what, their 4th year? 4th and 5th year You are arbitration eligible, and then after your 6th year, you could become a free agent.
Guys rarely spend 6 years in Pittsburgh. We touched on it last night briefly. It seems like they rush guys to the major leagues probably a little bit before their time out of necessity. And right about the time a guy strikes to hit his prime, hit his stride at the major league level, start to make a little bit of money, off he goes somewhere else.
One interesting contract you did not mention, and this gets really confusing, but Pedro Alvarez was a 2nd overall pick in 2008. He eventually agreed to a major league contract, 4 years, $6 million, plus the minor league salaries he got before he came up. As Karsten strikes out, I'm not asking you to give me all the details. You might not know the answer at all, but when a guy like Alvarez, I believe Jeff Samardzija, didn't he sign a major league contract? Does the clock start ticking right off the bat? I don't know how that works with service time, but sometimes you see high draft picks get a major league contract. Don't know the answer. We can find out. I take it you did not sign a major league contract when you signed with the Giants.
No. I think I've told the story in the past when the scout that came to sign me, he was actually there to sign our second baseman at Ohio University, who decided to go back for his senior year of college, and I was a warm body. They asked if I could play outfield. I said, yeah. They said, would you like to sign with the San Francisco Giants? I said, what kind of bonus is involved? And the scout literally laughed at me.
It's not a good sign.
Oh, no, there will be no bonus. Just be in Great Falls in 2 days, ready to play baseball.
Hit very hard, but right at Castro on the ground. And the Pirates kept off the board for the first time tonight. They lead 9-0. Cubs with just 2 singles in the first 4 innings against Jeff Karstens. The 0-1 pitch to Soriano is fouled away. Bouncer up the middle. Cedeno can't get it. That's a base hit. Leadoff man on for the second time. Again, Bob, we can ask, but just looking up some more information on these major league contracts, I believe part of the idea is just to spread out what would normally be a lump sum bonus. Instead of giving a guy $7 million right off the bat, you do $7 million over 4 years, so you can spread it out. But I believe the service time is still the same. You have to accumulate that time at the big league level to qualify for arbitration.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
I never really concerned myself too much with the contracts and incentive clauses. I prefer not to know what the players are making or what incentives they may be approaching. You try to win a ball game, and you use the players that you think give you the best chance to do that in the right situations, and let the front office worry about the money.
Yep. Perez, we've been talking about him. He makes a catch and gets Colvin. The other thing from a team's perspective, if you sign a guy to a major league deal and you know what his salary is going to be in 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden he becomes Miguel Cabrera right off the bat, you at least know what you're going to pay him.
Well, and the Pirates and a lot of people around baseball believe that Pedro Alvarez has the potential to be one of those kind of guys.
The bottom line, it's really hard to argue with this or criticize players for when they do get to free agency to basically go after the biggest contract they can. As Coy Hill powers this one deep to right center, gone! A 2-run homer for Coy Hill, and the Cubs are on the board. Been a while for Coy.
Has been swinging the bat a lot better lately. A couple knocks in the ball game as a right-handed hitter last night. This time as a lefty. Takes a sinker on the outside part of the plate and hooks it back to right center field. Got enough of it, got it up into that wind, and rode it out of here to put the Cubs on the board.
His first homer since May 29th of last year as Mateo taps it foul. Well, at this point, Cubs trailing by 7. You just hope the wind keeps blowing out. Their best chance to get back in the game is to hit a couple more of what Coy Hill just did. Going to happen for Mateo as he strikes out, 2 down. Strikeout number 4 for Karstens. Just to finish my point, a lot of guys spent several years in the minor leagues, and then you have to go 6 years of service time before you become a free agent. So in a lot of cases, Bob, it's over a decade before you can basically determine solely where you want to go, how much you want to make. So I have no problem with a first-time free agent deciding I'm going to sit back and wait, and I'm going to take the money. I know pro athletes get criticized a lot for doing that, but I think if every fan were put in that situation, they would probably do the exact same thing. A stumble by Walker, but he still gets the out. Coy Hill with a 2-run shot. Cubs still trail by 7, but the Cubs are on the board. Weeknights at 5:30. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities join host David Kaplan to discuss the day's hottest sports topics. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Harris Bank. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Tabato with a base hit the other way. Ten hits for the Pirates. One strike to Walker. 2 hits, 2 runs. Walker has scored 4 times in the set. Deep drive for Neil Walker. And it's off the batter's eye as a fan jumps into the juniper bushes. Come on, guys. 11-2 Pirates.
Well, we were talking about that noise that certain batted balls make, and that time Neil Walker made that sound. Boy, that ball was crushed. Outer third of the plate. That full extension, a lot of backspin on that ball. Got up in the jet stream and rode it out of here off the batter's eye in center.
It's a high slider for a strike on Garrett Jones. 11-2, the Pirates with 2 homers tonight. So they get the 2 right back after Coy Hill hit a 2-run shot for the Cubs. Tapper by Jones on a checked swing. Well, the Pirates snapped their 17-game road losing streak earlier this season with a win here at Wrigley Field on June 28th. And they're trying to end a 14-gamer this evening, leading 11-2. Foul pop back to the seats. I feel like we're talking about a lot of the same things we talked about last night, just on the other side.
Right.
Brian Burris gave John Russell quantity, if not quality, last night, and that's what the Cubs are asking out of Marcos Mateo, who's given up 4 runs, but in his 3rd inning of work. Count filled up at 3-2. As is normally the case when you score 11, the Pirates have spread it around. Really, everybody's pitched in. Let's see if there's a play. Ramirez got close, but didn't catch it.
A lot of traffic over in that area. You got the bullpen catcher, you got the security guards, you got the area where the wall kind of juts out, and Ramirez was trying to get back into that little either nook or cranny to make the catch and just couldn't get there quickly enough.
We decided that's a cranny.
That's a cranny.
Looks like a cranny, doesn't it? Line right at the whip for the out. Watch Comcast Sportsnet Cubs game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Well, traveling secretaries all over baseball are going to be busy starting tomorrow. September 1st call-ups. Not all of them will happen tomorrow. And in the case of the Cubs, it may be staggered a little bit with AAA Iowa's season winding down, but not over yet. You have not heard a lot of specific names. Pretty good chance Wellington Castillo will be with the team tomorrow as a third catcher. Giovanni Soto day-to-day with the knee injury, although possibly could be ready by tomorrow.
Different organizations have different philosophies about how many guys to call up and who to call up. I was always of a mind that if you're in a pennant race and there's a guy in your system that's on your 40-man roster that even has one specific talent that you think you can use to help you win a game down the stretch, bring him up. Whether it be a blazing base stealer, bring him up. You may need a pinch runner at some point to help win a ball game.
Alvarez strikes out.
Of course, once again, I'm not paying the salary. So.
Iowa 25 hits, 20 runs to beat Albuquerque last night. Sam Folt 5 for 7. Brian LaHare 2 homers. They still have a half-game lead in their division. Tennessee was off. Micah Gibbs with Boise. 4 hits. Big 9th inning rally for the Hawks. Here comes James Russell. The Lexus pursuing perfection. Call to the pen. We'll be back. Southpaw James Russell is in. Mateo at 2 2/3 gave up 4 runs. Two two-run homers. He struck out 5, didn't walk anybody. Ryan Doumit turning around and batting righty. Looks at strike 1. 11-2 Pittsburgh. Looking for their 10th win of the year against the Cubs. I've noticed out of the corner of my eye when Walker hit that home run, Pirates TV analyst Bob Walk jumped out of his seat. I thought, I know you're happy for your guy, but a 9-run game. Well, we found out that an insect had landed on Mr. Walk at that very moment. It was a very large spider. Russell knocks it down and just gets Ryan Doumit. And I also understand he grabbed the spider and threw it in our booth, so I'll keep an eye on that. At the end of 5.5, 11-2 Pirates. Ooh. Starlin Castro here in the Cubs' 6th. 11-2 Pirates. Didn't Glenn Allen Hill deal with arachnophobia?
Yeah, and he was having a nightmare about spiders one night, I believe in Toronto, and woke up and ran into a mirrored closet door and injured himself.
It's that time of year.
Yes, it is. I'm just sitting here eating my curds and whey, minding my own business.
I would think that a pretty good majority of the spiders in these parts do a lot of good.
They're our friends.
Yeah, they eat all the insects that we don't like. But when they land on your head during a home run call, I guess that can cause a little bit of a problem over in the visiting booth. Still 1-2. Jose Bautista, Major League leader in homers, 3-run shot tonight, number 43. Castro waves at strike 3. Blue Jays leading 13-5 at Tampa Bay. The 26th annual Cubs convention takes place at the Hilton Chicago, January 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2011. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes go on sale in early November. For more information, visit Cubs.com. Bob Walk is making me nervous. He won't sit in the Pirate booth. I don't think he's going to sleep very well tonight. When Bob Walk was a player, and the teammates found out when he jumped like he did, they would go out and buy a bag of plastic spiders.
Oh, yeah.
Break into his room at 5 a.m. Tap him on the shoulder.
Teammates can be cruel. If they find a weakness, they're going to go right at it, just like pitchers attacking a hitter.
The irony of this entire conversation is if my wife is watching, she's howling right now because she knows how squeamish I am around any sort of insect or animal. A butterfly or a moth.
Mothra.
For those of you who have dogs, you can probably relate. I was home by myself one night. Had the dogs out in the backyard, and I happened to catch a squirrel. I don't want to get into the gory details. So I did what any normal guy would do. Called my wife. I said, honey, there's a squirrel in the backyard. You got to go home. Come back and get it. I don't know what to do.
Oh, that's good.
Marlon Byrd grounds out. I slept on the couch that night.
I'm not quite as squeamish about things like that. Probably because of some of the apartments I stayed in the minor leagues.
Gotcha.
You were a guest.
Strike to Ramirez. Coming right at you, partner.
I think he's headed over to your side of the booth.
It's okay. Swing and a miss. That will end the inning. For those of you who are afraid of spiders, that will also end our arachnid conversation as well. 11-2 Pirates. quarters. Thursday at 7, NIU battles Iowa State, and Saturday at 11:30, Illinois and Mizzou square off on CSN. Northwestern takes on Vanderbilt at 6:30 on CSN Plus. It all begins Thursday on Comcast Sportsnet. 11-2 Pirates were in the 7th. Ronnie Cedeno fouls back. 2 strikes on him. James Russell got the final out of the 6th. Cubs legend Ron Santo will conduct a stretch tonight. On Ronnie's hands, and Coy Hill with a nice catch right up against the net.
McCoy didn't have much time to get back there. That ball wasn't popped very high in the air, but able to make the basket catch right up against the bricks in the backstop. And that'll be our All-State good hands play of the game. And you notice Coy keeping that hockey-style mask on. We've talked about it repeatedly throughout this season. He feels that his visibility is just as good with the mask on as it is taking it off. And that time able to make a fine running catch against the backstop.
0-1 to Snyder. Hit the target, but a little bit inside.
Yeah, got a good this day in baseball history for you.
They have.
You talk to a lot of old timers around the game and mention the name Steve Dalkowski. They will tell you that he might have been the hardest thrower to ever play the game. Also, the most frightening at bat for a hitter because he had no idea where the ball was going. Well, on this date in 1957, Steve Dalkowski struck out as Snyder's going to boot that time by Castro. It should be an E6. Snyder will reach. Going to make that play strong. I'm telling a story. Anyway, Steve Dalkowski struck out 24 Bluefield Dodgers. However, he walked 18, hit 4, and threw 6 wild pitches as his team lost the ball game 9-8. Looking on Baseball Reference, in the early part of his career, they didn't keep track of strikeouts for some reason, but in 995 minor league innings pitched, he walked 1,354 batters. 24 punch-outs and 18 walks. Wow.
You stay in the game that long.
No.
Allow that many walks.
What do you suppose his pitch count was? Infinity.
270. Well, 24 times 3 is what, 72 right off the bat.
18 walks.
18 times 4.
Oh boy.
72.
Okay. We also, what did I say? Let me find it again here. Hit 4. And threw 6 wild pitches.
So right there, minimum, like 160. Call strike 3 to get Karstens.
I remember hearing that name when I was coming up through the minor leagues, and some of our older coaches, managers, and instructors, when we would have a conversation about, man, this guy throws hard. That guy threw hard last night. Oh, that's nothing. You should have seen Steve Dalkowski.
The legend.
Yep.
Strike on McCutchen. It's outside, 1-1. 1 through 8, everybody with a hit for the Pirates. Everybody has scored a run except for Ronnie Cedeno. 6 guys have knocked in at least 1 run. Those balls put into play have been hits. They have 11 hits, 10 strikeouts. We take away the strikeouts, 11 out of 21. Hitting better than .500 when they put a ball in play. Flip side, Jeff Karstens made 1 mistake tonight, only 4 hits. 1 was the 2-run homer. He's gotten through 6, has not walked anybody. He's going to come back out for the 7th.
Well, really, you think about the Coy Hill 2-run homer, it wasn't really a mistake. It was a fastball on the outer third of the plate, maybe the outside corner. Just a better piece of hitting by Coy Hill to go out and get it.
Battle continues. Russell and McCutchen. Snyder at first. He reached down an error by Starlin Castro. And the next one. Caught foul. Pirates have called off the dogs a bit here late. Nady not holding on Snyder, who could very easily steal second base. The unwritten code seems to be in effect, with the visitors leading by 9. A stop by Ramirez, but he's not going to get the speedy McCutchen. Nice job by Aramis to keep that ball out of left field. It'll be an infield hit for McCutchen.
There's not enough time with the speed of McCutchen. His backhanded stop right on the foul line. The long throw across the diamond. I ain't never quite sure what would happen if that ball does get down in the corner. We've seen some funny things happen down in that left field corner when the ball gets up against the side wall. Sometimes it ricochets out into the field of the play. Sometimes it goes all the way down into the corner. May have saved a run right there.
And a base hit in the left center. Snyder's going to score as Tabata knocks him in. Tabata starting to heat up, snapping it is 0 for 11 tonight. That is his 3rd hit. 12-2.
From our Coors Light RoboCam, Tabata with a quick bat dunks that ball out in front of Soriano in left field. See Tony Beasley, the third base coach, very hesitantly waving Chris Snyder on around third. You talk about respecting your opponents in a blowout ball game like this, but you also have to respect your own teammates. That's an RBI base hit right there. If Beasley does not send Chris Snyder, you could possibly create a rift in your own team.
Eight hits combined. McCutchen, Tabata, Walker. You add the cleanup man Garrett Jones to that, And they have combined to knock in 9 runs tonight. That run will be unearned because Snyder got on via the error by Starlin Castro. Russell set. Here's a 3-1. Lined into left center. That ball's going to roll to the wall. McCutcheon's in. Tabata is going to score as well. And guess what the score is? 14-2. That was the final last night, but the Cubs won. What a night for Walker.
John Russell, the Pirates skipper, has to be enjoying this. This has been an offense throughout the year that's had trouble stringing together 2 hits in 1 inning. They're just banging the ball all over the ballpark tonight.
Double switch time. Mike Quaddy's going to make some changes. Alexis pursuing perfection, call to the pen. We're in the 7th. All Pirates tonight. We'll be back. Tonight, third base. Ramirez done for the evening. Sean Marshall will do the pitching. Some may say, well, why would you use your top setup man tonight? Well, the Cubs used Diamond, Russell, and Maine last night in a 14-2 win. Now here's Marshall facing Garrett Jones. 3 in here in the 7th. Runner at second, called strike. A pop up and just no play.
Now, is that a nook or a cranny there by the dugout?
That is a nook.
I think we could get an English muffin company to come in and sponsor the various nooks and crannies around Wrigley Field. He's the coolest cat in the ballpark.
Yeah. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Stretch time. Here's Ron Santo. Chicago Cub, Ron Santo.
Oh, you wonderful Cub fans. Let me hear you loud and clear. A one, a two, a three. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the buy me some peanuts and crackers. I don't give my root for the Cubbies. If they win, it's a shame for at the old ball game. Yeah, let's get some run.
Run lead. John Russell is going to go into his bullpen. Sean Gallagher facing his former team for the second straight night. Gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning in a ball game last night. It's the inside corner on Xavier Nady. Karstens was pretty good tonight. He would never have known he had lost 8 consecutive decisions coming in.
His stuff was good. His command was good. Pitching in a great rhythm, and certainly didn't hurt anything for his team to spot him to a big lead early in the ball game. This is one of those go-figure games. Statistically, the worst offense in the National League. A pitcher on the mound that's lost his last 8 decisions. One team coming off an 18-hit, 14-run performance, and this is what you get. Go figure.
Yeah, that's baseball. It's a somewhat crass way to put it is, some days you're the dog, some days you're the tree.
Yeah.
It would be very odd, though, if this game ended 14-2 as Nady went around. That's a strikeout. I can imagine there have been too many series in baseball history in which game 1 ended up 14-2, game 2 by the same score, but the other team winning. By the end of the night, you'd say it's been a very evenly played series. I want to welcome those viewers who just watched the White Sox score 3 in the ninth and then hang on to beat the Indians 4-3. Len Casper, Bob Brenly, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew from Wrigley Field. Soriano flies to dome it. 2 down here in the 7th. Pirates leading the Cubs 14-2. Time for the Haynes Comfort Zone. Pirates bullpen has been nails against the Cubs this season. Although Octavio Dotel 7 for 7 in save chances before he got traded to the Dodgers, and Evan Meek also pitching in the late innings. He has a right hand injury and will not appear in this series.
Now, we talked about that last night when the Pirates, on those rare occasions they did have a lead late in a ball game. Hanrahan, Meek, and Dotel were as good as anybody in the National League at closing out ball games.
The 2-0 to Colvin is inside. Cedeno keep on running right into the visiting dugout. A 1-2-3 7th for the reliever Gallagher. 14-2 Pirates. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. $31,369 paid crowd tonight as Pedro Alvarez takes a strike. Fortunately, they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about as the home team trails big late. Inside that time, 1-1. Cincinnati ready to close out Milwaukee 8-4 in the top of the ninth in Cincy. Took 91 pitches to get Aaron Harang through 4 innings tonight. He gave up 3 runs, but Giovanni Gallardo gave up 8 in his 5 innings. Harang coming off the DL. Aroldis Chapman with a scoreless inning in his major league debut. He only needed 8 pitches, 1 strikeout, and a scoreless inning.
Let me guess, he threw 130 miles an hour.
Don't have the velocity.
Yeah, it'll probably be on Fangraphs tomorrow. We'll be able to check it out.
Marshall back-to-back strikeouts going back to Jones in the 8th. By the way, the runs the Pirates got in that 8th inning were all unearned because of the error by Castro. That one got by Coy Hill. 1 ball, no strikes. St. Louis down to its final out in the 9th, trailing in Houston 3-0. Wandy Rodriguez was 7 scoreless. Chris Carpenter gave up 3 runs, 2 earned in his 7 innings. Lined at Barney for the out. Domet gone. That'll bring up a pinch hitter, Argenis Diaz, for Ronnie Cedeno.
Well, Diaz in the ball game last night briefly. Stellar defender. Best defensive infielder, best infield arm in the Pirates organization last year. Getting an opportunity to get an at bat here for Ronnie Cedeno.
I'll tell you, Bob, I know the Reds are going to take nothing for granted, but assuming they win and the Cardinals lose, they'll have a 7-game lead. And if they can get through basically the next week and a half, they're going to be in really good shape. They play at St. Louis this weekend. So even if you lose 2 of 3, if you just avoid getting swept, you start taking games off the calendar. 4 big ones at Colorado, and we know what the series there can do to your pitching staff. But after that, the Reds go home and play the Pirates and Diamondbacks. Their final trip will be at Houston, Milwaukee, and San Diego, and then they finish against Houston and Milwaukee. So they don't have the most difficult schedule down the stretch. And again, they may have a 7-game lead after tonight. Nice job, Sean Marshall. 4 up, 4 down in his stint. Gail, thank you. Tables have been turned tonight. The Cubs 14 runs, 18 hits last night, but only a Coy Hill 2-run homer and just 4 hits. Diaz stays into play short. Here's Hill. It's the guy he once caught, Sean Gallagher. Arwin Barney on deck, and then Blake DeWitt. You see Carlos Marmol get an inning, the 9th. Two strikes on Hill. Fair ball past Alvarez, who was playing off the line. Marmol has to get out of the way as Hill has a double.
Belt high fastball out over the plate. Ball rolls down through there, almost knocked over somebody's drink. Carlos Marmol's cup of water out there, but boy, Hill with his 3rd hit of the ball game. Singled in the 3rd, the 2-run homer in the 5th, and now a double down in the left field corner. Got 1 RBI for Darwin Barney. He got in the onslaught last night. See if we can tack on another one here.
Got to hit for a little more power now. He's a 3rd baseman. Chomping on that bubble gum. Here's the pitch outside. 2-0. First career RBI for Darwin Barney. Pulled it into the left field corner, kind of similar to the Coy Hill hit. See if he can do it again. Up and in. Yankees with a 1-game lead in the American League East. 9-3. They beat Oakland. Phil Hughes got his 16th win. And Tampa Bay lost at home to the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay still leading the wild card, however. I would say there's a pretty decent chance both the Yankees and Rays will get in. And if you don't like the wild card, this is the one division you can grouse about. Say, well, you're taking away a great pennant race, the American League East. Domet just simply blocked that ball. So Barney has a base hit. The first 2 have reached here in the 8th.
Domet's still learning the position out there in right field. Reverts back to form. He's naturally a catcher, and when you can't field a ball cleanly as a catcher, you just block it with your chest, which Domet does effectively there. Boy, Hill had to hold up at second base to see if Domet could make the play or not. Let's have him on the corners. Nobody out.
Foul tip, 1-1 to DeWitt. Reds won. Cardinals lost. St. Louis, their 4th in a row. Side, and I guess it just missed Barney. He would have been out if that ball had hit him. DeWitt gets an RBI on the ground out. It's now 14-3.
From the Coors Light RoboCam, that bouncer to the right side, as you said, Darwin Barney had to hurdle over that baseball. Fortunately, did not hit him. Blake DeWitt with a RBI ground out.
I often thought how weird it would be to see a no-hit bid end on that play right there. 2 outs in the ninth, runner at first. Ground ball hits the runner. The game ends because the runner is out, but the batter gets a base hit. That would be a terrible way for a no-hitter to be broken up.
Almost as bad as having an umpire miss an obvious call at first.
For a perfect game.
That would be bizarre. I'm getting into this day of baseball history. This has a little special meaning. I think Gallagher may have tweaked something out there on his follow-through. Fell off the mound awkwardly and took a couple of steps toward the first base side. And while they're chatting it over, I'll give you this day in baseball history. Back in 2001, former minor league catcher Lawrence Davis passed away at 82 years old. You might know him better as Crash Davis. Made famous by the movie Bull Durham, Kevin Costner played the character, the grizzled veteran minor league catcher that helped tutor Nuke LaLoosh and get him started on his way to the major leagues. Lawrence Davis.
Crash. Yep. Great baseball name. And great baseball movie. Castro base hit into center. Barney's going to score 14-4. Castro continues his climb up the batting average chart on a 2-for-4 night.
Right back where it came from. Hard ground ball over the rubber into center field. Barney will score easily from second base. Oh boy, Starling, got to stay hot. I mean, at this point, hitting at the top of the order, he's going to get probably 4 at-bats every game, if not more. He needs to get 2 knocks or a walk and a knock every night to keep that average up there where it is, or maybe even climb a little further up the leaderboard.
And with that hit, he goes to 315. Started the night at 313. Stellar performances around baseball tonight. Edwin Jackson of the White Sox, 8 2/3, 11 strikeouts. As he did get the win for the White Sox. Former Cub Derek Lee, 3 for 3 with a double, a walk, an RBI, and a run as the Braves beat the Mets 9-2. Only guy with 4 hits currently tonight around the majors, Neil Walker, Pirates second baseman, has knocked in 4 runs. Two and two. Long at bat continues. The kick, the 2-2 pitch, fly ball right field. Should be no problem for Doman. 2 down.
And then there's a story on FoxSports.com that the Arizona Diamondbacks are considering going to the humidor ball next year, following the lead of the Colorado Rockies, who did it back in 2002 to try to level the playing field a little bit for pitchers at Coors Field in Mile High Denver. According to the statistics, Chase Field is ranked as the 10th best hitters park in the major leagues. Coors is number 1.
They call Hoffpauer. Deep center. McCutchen can't catch it. It's off the wall. Castro's going to score. Hoffpauer with an RBI double. They've plated 3 here in the 8th to make it 14-5. That had a nice sound.
Oh, it sure did. A little more elevation. It probably gets up into those juniper bushes. Well, sometimes those balls hit the directly straight away center field don't carry quite as well. I think possibly the scoreboard out there in center field may have something to do with the way the wind swirls around out there in that area, but halfway up the wall and straight away center for Micah Hoffpauer.
Eighty 0 for 3, make it 1 for 4. Hoffpauer's going to score to make it 14-6. That'll be it for Gallagher. See veteran right-hander Chan-Ho Park. Well, Gallagher a quick 1-2-3 7th, but ran into some major trouble here in the 8th. Alexis pursuing perfection, call to the pen. We'll be back.
Watch the Cubs take on the Astros Wednesday, September 8th. Game time is 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs toiletry bag, compliments of Vegas.
Be nice for us when we travel. Breaking ball strike from veteran Chan-Ho Park as Nady takes second base without a throw. Off waivers from the Yankees on August 4th, made his Pirate debut August 6th and took the loss against the Rockies. 122 career wins, second all-time among Asian-born pitchers. Base hit left field. Nady coming around to score. A 5-run 8. It's 14-7.
Middle of the plate fastball for Alfonso Soriano from the Coors Light RoboCam. You see that big hole on the left side of the infield. Nady's going to round third and score easily. Cut the lead to 7. Somebody go deep.
post pattern? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Northwestern and Illinois will play here at Wrigley Field in November. Let's see a similar score. Pitch to Colvin. He pops it up left side. Pedro Alvarez ends the inning. Cubs get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 14-7 after 8. Friday, the Cubs battle the Mets on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as Chicago and New York face off here at Wrigley Field. Coverage starts at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs and Mets Friday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fan best friend. Well, normally when Carlos Marmol comes in, the Cubs have a lead. Not the case tonight. Trail 14-7. Just getting an inning of work. Face Chris Snyder. Pinch hitter Andy LaRoche and Andrew McCutchen. I want to get back to your humidor story, Bob. I would assume MLB is okay with any team using a humidor as long as the specifications of the baseball are preserved, and that's the idea of using it. Making sure it doesn't dry out, which it had done previously in Denver, as Bird with a leap and the catch on the warning track to rob Chris Snyder. Marlon's been limping since that last at bat and continues to do so, but he got back there and made the catch.
And limping on that right leg, goes back to the track, knows he's getting close to the vines, leaps up there and makes a nice catch on the drive off the bat of Chris Snyder. It took him a long time to get out to his position between innings, and he continues to limp around out there in center field.
Playing very deep as well. Here's the pinch hitter LaRoche, swing and a miss. The other problem in Denver was the balls were literally shrinking. They were getting harder. So if the humidor keeps the ball basically intact from when the ball arrives, that's kind of the idea. So I would assume you could use it anywhere. MLB, that's all baseball cares about, is that the ball remains the same in terms of circumference and weight. I thought we were going to have a shot at that one.
I'm not sure where I come down on this one. I mean, Wrigley Field and Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati are rated better offensive ballparks than Chase Field in Arizona. So if it's strictly to try to, like I said earlier, level the playing field, give the pitchers a better chance to compete as they would at other ballparks, why wouldn't you do something here at Wrigley at a great American ballpark too?
Well, I guess that's a good point. My answer would be, instead of looking at offense, I would just look at the ball itself. And if the ball is changing, that's where I think they should consider using the humidor. And I think in the case of Wrigley and in Cincinnati, the ballpark itself and the weather conditions here would affect it as LaRoche takes a called strike. I had never heard that there was an issue with the ball in Arizona, even though there is some elevation, obviously, in the valley. And in the desert air, does the ball dry out? Maybe that's why they would keep it in the humidor.
Never heard any complaints in all the time I was there about the ability to grip or not grip a baseball, or the size of the balls that were in play during a particular game.
You could actually, Bob, almost make a case that a humidor you could use in every ballpark, or some sort of chamber that kind of keeps the ball in a vacuum or whatever and is not affected by the outside conditions. That's going to be off the wall. McCutchen just missing a home run. He'll have an easy double. Well, there had been talk, gosh, 20 years ago about the ball being juiced. Did you think that was the case? If literally the ball changed and led to more home runs?
Well, we found out that the juice was somewhere other than the baseball. But, yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, leadoff hitters who had hit 7 home runs in their entire career were hitting 30 bombs a season or more. Balls were flying to areas of the ballpark where we'd never seen them go before. And as a possible explanation, people thought that maybe the ball was wrapped a little bit tighter. Maybe the specs at the company had been lessened or something, because everybody was trying to figure out a reason for the explosion in long home run balls. And I think now we know why.
The 1-1 taken for a strike, 1-2 on Tabata.
And at the end of the story, there's a quote from Mark Reynolds, the slugging third baseman for the Diamondbacks, who hit his 30th and 31st home run on Monday, said it doesn't matter to him. When some of those balls come up to the warning track and don't get out of the ballpark, it'll start to matter.
It will, yes. Bottom 9, 14-7. Saturday at Sports Authority stores around the city from 6 to 8 p.m. Giovanni Soto will sign autographs at the Sports Authority on LaSalle Street downtown. Sean Marshall will be at the Mount Prospect store, and Carlos Marmol will appear at the Vernon Hills store. That's Saturday. For more information, call 773-404-CUBS. Chris Resop gets the 9th. Not a save spot with his team leading by 7. How about a cycle here? Coy Hill, if he can triple, would do it. Come on, Coy.
Keep running. Not going to work. Well, a good night offensively, nonetheless, for Coy, in a losing effort.
I envision a ground ball into right, and Coy Hill playing a little leaguer. Just keep running till somebody tags you.
That's right. Just keep running.
Resop was claimed off waivers on August 4th from Atlanta. Well, if the current trend holds up, the Cubs will score 14 tomorrow. Look on the bright side. Hit well, but right at Ryan Domit to retire Barney. Producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director, Dave Bulldog Turner. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager in the booth, Christine Charbonneau. Our TD, technical director, Joe Bincy. The tech manager of Comcast Sportsnet, Mark Harper. Our senior executive producer is Jim Corno Jr. Great work as always by our entire crew. DeWitt 0 for 4. He did knock in a run, his 43rd, with an 8th inning groundout. "21 runs, 25 hits combined. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the Pirates have evened up this series with their 10th win of the season against the Cubs. These two clubs will wrap up the season set tomorrow afternoon with the rubber match. A rare bad one from Ryan Dempster. Bobby had a really good month, kind of a sour note to end the month of August. But the Pirates' bats were very hot tonight.
Yeah, they really took advantage of every mistake that Ryan Dempster made in this game. And I'm sure Dempster will bounce back and have a good one next time out. He had been so good throughout the month, as you mentioned. Good command, good stuff, but it's not his night tonight.
The GMC player of the game, Pirates second baseman Neil Walker. He had 4 hits tonight. 2 of them knocked in 2 runs apiece. The home run in the 6th, the double in the 7th.
A lot of damage done by the top of the Pirates order. A lot of damage done up and down the order, but especially those first 3 guys at the top.
That's going to wrap up our game coverage. Stay tuned for Sylvania post-game live. Once again, the final score tonight, the Pirates 14, the Cubs 7. We're back here on Comcast Sportsnet Friday afternoon when the New York Mets come to town to start a weekend set. 12:30 for pregame live. Bob and I take over at 1. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob Brentley and our entire crew, this is Len Casper sending it downtown to Mark and Pat at our Comcast Sportsnet studios.